welcome to the Interjections podcast. This is a podcast where the four of us discuss the movies of the 1990s. We're currently in 1991. We've finally reached the summer, so it's not quite blockbuster season yet. We do have a small film that did decently.
So this month we're doing What About Bob? I think it's a masterpiece.
This was a Jimmy pick.
Yeah, this was my pick. I watched it a lot as a kid because, they aired it a lot on daytime TV because what else are they going to play? Garbage?
Yes, in USA a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, it was
Yeah.
like USA and...
I think I started on like TNT or something.
Yeah, TNT, TBS. Oh, well, maybe not TBS. But whatever. Let's be honest. So,
One of those Ted Turner channels.
Yeah.
if you don't know, I'll let you know that this movie has the famous Murricane, or Bill Murray, and the guy from Jaws.
Is it Brody? Brody's...
No, Brody's the sheriff.
Okay. I always mix up.
Oh no, the cool guy from Jaws.
I just call them their actor.
The shark doctor.
Yeah.
Hooper.
Doctor Hoop.
And Bill Murray plays a highly neurotic, highly
He can barely
highly paranoid. He's wow, I had the word and now it's gone. When you
sociopath?
Well, not a sociopath.
He's a mess.
When you have like that condition where you think you have every disease.
Oh,
hypochondriac. Like he's a little too far down the road in terms of just crazy. So much so that other psychologists were like, we're passing the buck onto this guy, that guy. Like they just push Bill Murray's character Bob onto other doctors, and finally we get to
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
Leo, what is his name?
Marvin.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr. Leo Marvin.
Yeah,
I brought my phone up.
Don't you remember from the general store?
Yeah.
So as Bob is like going to his first appointment, he's all excited. He has a one-on-one and feels like maybe things might turn start looking good. But then he finds out that Dr. Marvin is going on vacation for the whole summer. So he just, goes into his crazy antics and basically stalks his doctor and his family falls in love with him. But Dr. Marvin is the only one that seems to know that, like, hey, this isn't right.
We as the audience know that he's crazy, obviously,
Yeah.
but like every scene he's in with Julie Haggerty, who is Richard Dreyfuss's wife, behind Jeff's shoulder there, and the kids, they
Of Airplane fame.
right,
Yes.
They always seem to see him in his best state, so they don't see how crazy he can be.
Yeah.
And it's obvious to a psychologist that he could go off the rails at any minute, and Richard doesn't know where he's going to go next.
It's very much a Magoo syndrome,
Yeah.
where it's like, he could just sort of falls into these things where he happens to be right about stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they also, like, there's certain situations in the movie where he braves up, he gets into a situation, especially with his doctor's like kids, and they're anxious about something or they're nervous about something, and then he gives them sage advice for somebody that's a little off.
Because it's something
The part
that
is he actually
Leo
said
just said to him.
throughout the
Yeah.
movie.
And then he helps like one of the kids like basically face his fear.
He was nervous about diving into the lake.
Yeah, diving into the lake, and at the same time he confronts his fears. So like it's kind of a weird, like, I'll step up my A game, but only accidentally because I'm being friendly.
It's kind of ironic because Leo's trying to teach his own son how to dive and is kind of grumpy about it, and it's not working.
Yeah, and too technical.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of like he needed both Bob and Leo to push him.
Yeah, and it's
Literally and figuratively.
And it's funny that his son is actually having an existential crisis by the age of 9.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's
Wearing all
what
black.
happens. Okay, we gotta start at the beginning here. The son's name is Sigmund.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
And,
Richard Dreyfuss's character is a hyper neurotic, narcissistic psychologist.
You know what the best scene?
The whole movie goes around. He's trying to get an interview, or he's trying to ready himself for an interview with Good Morning America because he's like got a best-selling book, and he's trying to like, keep all of that going. And Bob just keeps getting in the way, and
the worst timing.
it's very much like, I don't know. It's like grown-up Dennis the Menace
Yeah.
in a way.
I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah,
was
right.
Frank
It
Oz.
is. It basically is grown up Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
So because you have like, Dreyfuss's character names his son Sigmund, and his daughter is named Anne after Sigmund Freud's daughter, and he's just like, so of course the kid is 10 years old and having an existential crisis. Like he's just
Yeah.
there's an entire scene where he's just like sitting in his bedroom with Bob, and he's just like, "Are you afraid of death?"
We wonder why Jimmy's the way he is.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
he used to watch this as a kid.
Oh, I watched it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
As soon as he said that, Jimmy's like, "Oh."
it was like that's where I get it from. No, as a kid, I think I probably related more to Bob because he was the funny one.
Well, yeah,
But
we
I-
all love Bill Murray. As a kid.
Yeah, I didn't think much of like, the fact that like he's got all these multiple neuroses, and I was just like that didn't faze me. I just thought he was a funny guy.
Yeah. I knew it was kind of he was being obnoxious, so I understood the actual premise. I saw this as a kid as well, but it it never fazed me. I actually was more into Dreyfuss, which tells you a lot about me.
Yeah.
I was too, actually. I was always on his side.
That's why we like Frasier. So
I think so, yeah.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen this movie, but
Wow.
it was definitely like, one of Dreyfuss's better works.
yeah,
I think it's one of his best comedic performances for sure.
yeah.
It's basically like Frank Oz and the rest of the crew doing a riff on the gaslighting subgenre, like a single white female. Only the single white female is.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Because by the end, spoiler alert, he writes his own therapy book.
Yeah,
Well, part of the dynamic was the fact that, like, in interviews years after, Dreyfuss and Murray have all talked about they didn't get along at all during the filming of it, which worked out because they're like, Dreyfuss was like, just try to annoy the shit out of me, and Bill's just like, I'm just gonna do my best, and it's Bill Murray, so he succeeds, flawlessly in
Apparently,
the hell out of everyone.
there was one
Sometimes.
there was one breakdown on the set where he got right in Dreyfuss's face and said, "Nobody likes you, everybody hates you," and threw an ashtray at him.
Oh,
So I don't know if you guys watched the special features on that disc that I gave you, but they recount some of that stuff. Some
Yeah.
mentioned on the
some
set.
of that was in the trivia too. So I imagine people just wrote down the special features.
Yeah.
But you never know with Bill Murray whether he's being real or not. So if he's flipping out at you, is he just like getting some steam off? Does he actually like you? Because they always say with his fight with Chevy Chase and everyone else on SNL that he went back and forth with, they loved each other, but it's kind of like brothers fighting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you don't
Might
know.
be a bit bipolar. He's got some of that Chicago anger to him, I guess.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't he like one in 10 kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
He probably admires Dreyfuss, but is making sure they're getting their job done. But he's like, what is this life? So he's
Yeah,
like
he's-
right in between Bob and Charlie Korsmo's what is this? Oh, Sigmund.
yeah.
He's probably like thinking all sorts of existential things all the time. So he's like, the reason he's fun is because he only has 70 to 80 years to live unless something else happens.
Yeah.
I think that's why Bill Murray's zany in his real life persona or not, or otherwise.
Bill Murray just is a sociopath.
But he's our favorite sociopath.
He's just Bob Wiley in real life.
I was gonna say there's a couple tip-offs before the end that Richard Dreyfuss is a complete narcissist, like Jeff said. the darkest moment in the movie is probably when he gets the phone call at night saying that Bob's killed himself. And he goes, one of my patients killed himself. Oh, well, let's not let it ruin our vacation.
Yep.
The
Oh,
phone
that was
call
great.
the phone call that came from Bob pretending to be a PI trying to get in contact with us, but like that's it totally snowballs out of control until finally he like finds him at the lake house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I don't know. Because it keeps going all these convoluted routes because obviously they try to play on the whole doctor-patient relationship thing, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna give you this little advice, I'll see you in a month. And Bill Murray's just like, he hasn't gone without seeing a therapist for longer than like 48 hours, so
I wonder if the whole scenarios that happen back to back are kind of like the 5 stages of grief. I'm trying to think of it right now, where like
There's acceptance at the
denying,
end.
yeah.
he's denying it at first because he's like, Bob will go away, right? That'll definitely happen. Then there's anger where he actually pushes him off the pier. There's bargaining where he just tries to get him to go to the hospital, but he charms everyone there. I don't know if that's actually what they meant, but you can analyze it that way.
Fear.
Right. I feel like you're definitely onto something, but I think it's probably more Bob going through that and Dreyfuss going reverse.
Yeah, because they're not
denying it all at the
Dreyfuss
end.
is getting crazier.
Yeah. You see, the trick is
Like a
to
big
cure
alien
yourself
syndrome.
of your problems is you have to pass off your insanity to someone else.
Mm-hmm. That's what's happened here in the film.
Not real life.
Yeah.
Amongst friends.
It's all
I
about
say Frank Oz just masterful at comedic timing. I mean, we always knew that because of the Muppets and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
the way he shoots things, like in particular if he did insert shots for this one gag, it wouldn't work. But the scene where he's like, "You think he's gone? He's never gone," and then he opens up the door, and Bill Murray's still there, and he slams it. And he goes, "You see." You have to shoot that in a wide master shot.
Yeah.
Or else it wouldn't be funny.
Right.
He's so good at comedic timing and editing.
And it's also still going from when he pushed Bob out the door, so you never cut away from it.
Right.
He's coming off a run of, he just did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and Little Shop of Horrors. He'd done his Muppet stuff with Jim Henson and everything. He's going to go on to do House Sitter, In and Out, Bowfinger. So Frank Oz's 90s are pretty solid. I think this is
they did the score.
Did he really?
Yeah, which is a really good heist movie.
Oh, I thought he did the score to this.
Oh, like the music.
No.
Like, oh, wow.
I forgot about
He's
the
talented.
score. I never
It has a very sitcom-y, zany score.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of crazy when reading up on the trivia for this was like who was considered to be cast.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a version of this film with Robin Williams as Bob and Anthony Hopkins as
That's not inconceivable.
I think it's a different feel.
It would be a very different, like.
I'd feel like it'd be more serious.
Yeah.
I can't see Anthony Hopkins doesn't have comedic chops.
I mean, Anthony Hopkins would be crazy, but if it was actually Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah,
Patrick Stewart and Robin Williams.
I mean, I still feel like it would be a little more serious, like dry humor.
Yeah, like
maybe.
His British. What was that show that Patrick Stewart did where it was a talk show host? That I forget the name of that, but it was a couple of years ago, and he was serious, but it was like dry British humor. That it was irony every time. So I think he fits as psychiatrist for sure. But
blunt talk.
Yeah, blunt talk. I think it would have been interesting, and obviously this was kind of written with Robin Williams in mind. But once Bill Murray comes in, it makes it a Bill Murray feel, which you understand what that means. It's kind of improvisational, but not in a manic way. It's in a deadpan way.
Yeah.
That Bill Murray knows how to do. And I think he jives better with, or gels better with Dreyfuss. I don't know that he would have been good with Stewart, but we don't know Stewart much from comedy other than blunt talk, you know?
Right.
I don't know. I like this movie because, first of all, the scene at the end when Dreyfuss finally loses his shit and like tries to blow Bob up in the woods, which like it just goes off the rails. It's cartoony, but like his breakdown is brilliant. But the other thing is, I feel like for a lot of the movie, it's meant for like if a psychiatrist watches this movie, they're like, yeah, I know patients like that. But for me, who sometimes I've had like an on again, off again with Bill Murray in movies and appreciating him, I'm just like, this kind of sums up how Bill Murray feels in movies. Where it's just super annoying and he keeps coming back, and then finally you're just like, okay, this is who he is. This is the movie now.
He's our patron saint. He's
I was
the
gonna say it's interesting.
original Bill Murray movie every year.
Spotlighted with him.
Yeah, I don't think he has a '92 film because the next thing he does is Groundhog Day.
Oh
And
god,
that's not exactly a hidden gem. So
I was gonna say we probably won't be highlighting that, but we'll talk about it.
yeah. But I mean, we have people show up again. Like I know we already talked about Charlie Korsmo, his son Sigmund. He was the kid in Dick Tracy, so that happens.
That's where I saw him.
Yeah.
We just seen it.
Yeah, these are
also-
like his two biggest films other than Hook. So we've basically seen his films.
Oh
We
god,
technically do Charlie Korsmo 3 times in a row. So I don't know that we're all fans of Hook.
I mean, I like Hook.
I don't think it's a hidden gem either.
Yeah, no, that's
it doesn't often.
a big
pretty
hit. Yeah.
pretty popular among millennials.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hell, I used to play the video game at the skating rink when I was a kid.
there's a video game.
Yeah, or was it a pinball man? No, it was
Yeah.
a video game. It was a video game.
Okay.
I played the video game.
I swear I played a pinball game with Hook too, though.
Yeah.
But Catherine Irby, she hadn't really done any films before. She had come up through Chicago theater and went on to do stuff like Law and Order, Criminal Intent. She's been around a bunch of places, but the weird thing that we found was that Julie Haggerty's only 10 years older than her, playing her mother.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 26 filming this, Irby. So, and Julie Haggerty's only like 35, 36 filming this now.
Yeah, no, like when she first showed up on like whatever scene that she came up in, she looks young, but like there's like I guess the way that like the lighting was, like you could still see like the lines in her face, but like
we were
so,
curious if she was like his high school daughter or like coming to visit from college.
Yeah, 'cause,
we
like-
were just curious. We're like, okay, and I started doing my research for the guide we make, and and then we're like, hang on, this is interesting.
You know, I really like those puppets. They reminded me of like Mr. Rogers.
oh god,
Oh, that scene was really funny.
I actually, it's surprising that they didn't come up more often. The
Mhm.
puppets, like
Yeah,
it
I was hoping that too. Actually, I was hoping there was
Yeah.
gonna be a Bob puppet at one point.
Like Bob made his own.
Like Bob
Yeah.
made his
Like
own
six
puppets to join him. He's like, I made one for the fam. Look.
Yeah, it was like a one-time gag in the movie.
Yeah, actually, I kind of appreciate that because
Yeah.
today it would have been like
They
well,
would've-
the beaver was the whole puppet movie.
Yeah,
but,
they
like,
would have run it
would've
into the
driven-
ground.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of like one-time bits. The only
Mhm.
thing that's consistent is Bill Murray's craziness and
and the couple that laughs every time Bob gets better of Leo.
oh yeah,
Where-
there's-
No,
there's
she
this
never
whole
says
couple
it.
in town
the old couple that like wanted to buy
by the vacation house.
house. Yeah, they wanted to buy the house that
Yeah, but they wanted to buy it to retire in. Dr. Marvin bought it just to
Have a summer home.
have a summer home, but primarily because he wanted a home to shoot the interview in.
Mm-hmm.
and so
Or
they
something
figured
like
out
that,
how to
right? No.
weaponize Bob
He could be
against
just
him.
some house. It just happened to be this
Oh
one.
yeah, no, then we'll ditch that second idea that I had. I'm just being
I think it's that.
No.
I think it's right.
right.
But, like out of
It's just that, but I think it's in his head.
Yeah.
out of like Andy and Mayberry, except for the wife keeps cursing and she goes, she never said that.
Yeah, she never talks like this. I think she does, man.
You
Oh boy.
know who else is really good? Good supporting character? Gil.
Yes.
The fish.
Oh, the fish.
Oh, I forgot about the
He's
fish.
suffocating, guys. He's suffocating.
Oh, there's the
So I
puppets.
found the puppet.
Look at that.
This is how you deal with your family trauma, don't you?
I like how the Richard Dreyfuss one clearly has like Grecian formula in his hair.
Yeah.
This is the worst King Friday ever.
Yeah. I do like that she plays along with it though. She like accepts that this has to happen to get him off her back.
Oh,
And
yeah,
again,
well,
the
this
funny
is-
part is the
he's
way
been
he
doing
cuts
this with her
into
for-
close-ups of the puppets as they're talking.
He's been doing this with her for like her entire life,
Yeah,
which is supposed to be 17, but she was like in her 30s when she shot this.
right.
But
She's wearing like a sack, her puppet.
Yeah.
What is that shirt?
I
I
don't know.
think I was going to bring up the box office. This actually is the first #1 film of the weekend that we've had since Dick Tracy. Because we started looking at the hidden gems around that point. So we started getting films that were like 7th and 5th, 3rd, and even Kindergarten Cop was 2nd because Home Alone was huge.
Oh,
But, you know, Dick Tracy is a hidden gem now because people have kind of forgotten it by the wayside. And this was my first Bill Murray movie, my first Richard Dreyfuss movie. So I think this is kind of a hidden gem in their careers now because everyone, if you cite them, it'll be Ghostbusters, it'll be Caddyshack, it'll be Jaws, you know. So What About Bob is a nice little centerpiece. You could say this is their shining moment, even without those great films. So,
Yep.
but it still did pretty well with like 9 million for week 1. Back then was pretty good. So
what did it make overall?
63.
And for
Fine.
inflation, that's like twice as much, right? So that
Yeah, about like 11, something like that.
nice.
Yeah.
And this is a Touchstone movie, so it's technically a Disney movie.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's where I played everywhere for a while because Disney would like rent out their films to stuff like TBS and TNT all the time. So that's how we see all these. This was actually the biggest Disney live action film of the year. So,
Wow.
though, I mean, how
It's
many?
cut off, but
This is where he's strapped to the
sorry.
mast of the boat.
I'm sailing.
sailing. Well,
You think DiCaprio ripped this off for Titanic?
Yeah.
well, that's why I wore this shirt today in honor of him sailing. I got sailboats.
Oh, okay.
This definitely feels like it was one of those movies where they were just like, you know what? We're going to go find a nice resort in Virginia and we're going to shoot this movie about Bill and Richard just driving each other insane. You know, it's an easy shoot. Just 2 costumes the entire time.
Just two
You
guys.
don't even have
bad
to act.
situation.
Yeah.
Just 2 good guys in a bad situation.
Well, really, it's just 2 guys. One's good, one's bad, and the situation's bad for one.
And depending on
great
your
for the other.
perspective,
No, it's
well, you don't know which one's bad.
you want to talk real analysis here. There's 2 guys. One is good by accident, and one thinks he's being good, but is really just
Chaotic neutral.
because he's just trying to like shut his family up all the time. He might be a good psychologist, and by the end, he does accidentally end up helping Bob.
I mean, the funny part is
Against all
he's not really
odds.
a good psychologist more than he is a good self-promoter.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all he keeps doing is going, tell me more about that. He doesn't
Yeah.
really give him any advice.
That's surface psychology.
Yeah, it's kind of like armchair psychology. He doesn't
Yeah.
really,
Or like, you know, the
Fix
stereotypical
the problem.
portrayal of psychologists in Hollywood.
Yeah, especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
it's funny because that obviously that bust in his office of Freud, it could also be him because he fattened himself after Freud. I mean, look at his facial hair.
Mhm.
You could almost put a subplot in here about him doing cocaine and it would make total sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
But want to give final grades? I give it a B plus. It's not my favorite Bill Murray movie of the 90s, but it's a great two-hander.
I was going to ask this for the ending. I'd probably give it a B plus now. I think I had it as an A as a child, but I didn't remember how it ended. I'm curious how you guys think. With Siskel and Ebert, Ebert gave it a thumbs up and thought it was a great film. But Siskel gave it a thumbs down because he thought the ending was too abrupt.
Yeah, the movie did go by a lot quicker than I remembered it. Like when we watched it again, we had to take a break in the middle because I had to I had to go to work.
Yeah, we just started a little late,
but
so we finished it the next morning.
Even with that 1 day break in the middle of it, it went by really quickly.
Yeah, we cut it off right before he takes him to the psychiatry hospital, and so he really just was like going off the rails for that last half hour, and then Bob's fine, marriage. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sped up quite a bit. Yeah,
I don't think it was like, I don't know.
This would be a hard movie to wrap up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it did feel abrupt, but I feel like it was more to hammer home the fact that, like, oh, he's marrying his sister. Like, how could this get any worse? Oh, there it is.
Honestly, the sister should have been around more of it to plant those seeds.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking about her, and he was so excited to see her in the party, but. Yeah, I think if she was planted a little more, I would have been okay with it.
I feel like the sister was an afterthought, because then, like, well, the other thing that was also really surprising was the surprise party at the end. I was like, I don't know if I missed the seeds for like this was his birthday weekend or anything, or they just
no.
At first I thought it was going to be like. At first I thought he was going to come out. You know, he's covered in mud and everything because the car broke down and At first, I thought it was going to be like Bob threw him a party for no reason, but said that it was his birthday.
Yeah.
It was going to be something like that. And he's going to be like, and you invited my entire family here. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Which actually would have been
fine.
An interesting point to it.
It could have just been for the book promotion, too.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Wait, did they say happy birthday or surprise?
They said surprise and happy birthday.
Surprise and happy birthday.
And then they're saying for he's a jolly good fellow.
Yeah.
But there was absolutely nothing leading up to the fact that like his birthday might have been that weekend.
They did say the interview is going to be on your birthday at one point.
Oh,
that
did
was
it?
Kind of,
once.
Kind of
Right, so yeah, it was like a. So there were a few things that were like I feel like there was more to this movie that was cut. Like they probably, you have another 45 minutes of Bill Murray just riffing on. Camera.
I'm sure that dinner table scene went on for a while. I'm sure it was a nightmare to edit.
They literally just filmed them eating dinner that night.
Yes.
Like just eat dinner in character.
And then like Bill Murray just joygasming to eating corn.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Jeff?
What?
What would you give it, Jeff?
Oh, probably give it a B.
I'd give it an A- personally. Because like it's still a good movie. I just don't remember it going by that quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's still a hidden gem though. I think we all like it.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because like every now and then, like in like real life, I'll be like, okay, it's been a while, but like I'll drop the "What about Bob?" in like random situations, like yeah, what about Bob? And everybody like just go on. It's like you guys had garbage childhoods.
You uncultured son.
Well, it's do we think this movie would have been able to be made today?
Not at Disney.
Maybe as a sitcom.
Well, actually, funny you should mention that. Apparently, when I was looking at pictures for this, I swiped a bunch of them from articles from 2017 about how NBC had ordered a pilot for like a television version of this.
Interesting.
Really?
How could you make this
is.
episodic is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I don't know what came of that, but that should.
Yeah, I could see it happening though. That'd be funny if before. Well, I think Robin Williams passed in 2014, right?
Yeah.
It would have been funny if he was able to do it as a TV show, like instead.
He was doing the crazy ones.
Yeah, instead of that, if he did it, What About Bob? Finally, that'd be funny. Well. I just can't imagine Patrick Stewart laughing to himself maniacally in a car driving home.
I can see it.
I could.
Oh.
Did you not see Masterminds?
It was going to become What About Barb?
Oh.
Really? Oh no.
What about Barb and Star? Go to Vista Del Mar.
Yeah, it would have been Kristen Wiig or someone else.
Annie Malone.
Yeah.
Malone.
No thanks.